What's the first thing you would buy if you suddenly made $1 million? A luxury car? A bigger house? Designer clothes? If you answered yes to any of these, you've just revealed why you might never actually become wealthy. The truth about how successful people spend their money will probably shock you. Today, I'm breaking down the counterintuitive spending patterns of self-made millionaires and why the things they choose not to buy matter far more than what they do purchase. By the end of this video, you'll understand why wealth is rarely about earning more. It's about the strategic management of what you already have. What if I told you that 30% of Americans making over $250,000 a year still live paycheck to paycheck? The number seems impossible, yet it's our current reality. These are individuals earning more in a month than many people make in a year, yet they're just as financially vulnerable as someone making $50,000. This paradox reveals something profound about the relationship between income and wealth that most people misunderstand. We've been conditioned to believe that a high income solves all financial problems. It doesn't. I've seen neurosurgeons with seven-figure salaries who can't afford to miss a single paycheck, while school teachers with modest salaries build seven-figure investment portfolios. And the surgeon drives a luxury car that loses 20% of its value the moment it leaves the dealership, while the teacher drives a reliable mid-range sedan that she paid for in cash. And this isn't just anecdotal. Research consistently shows that as income rises, so do expenses, often at an even faster rate. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it's the silent wealth killer affecting high earners everywhere. The management consultant who finally reaches that $200,000 salary doesn't continue living on $60,000 while investing the difference. Instead, they upgrade to a larger apartment, replace their functional car with a BMW, swap their perfectly good furniture for designer pieces, and suddenly find themselves needing every dollar of that inflated paycheck. What's particularly insidious about this pattern is how it's reinforced by our social psychology. The human tendency toward status competition doesn't diminish with higher income. It intensifies. A corporate lawyer isn't comparing her lifestyle to the average American. She's comparing it to other corporate lawyers. This creates a perpetual treadmill of consumption where the finish line constantly moves just out of reach. Look at how high earners typically allocate their increased income. Studies show they disproportionately spend on visible status symbols, luxury watches, designer clothing, high-end restaurants, items that not only depreciate rapidly but often carry hidden maintenance costs. Meanwhile, their investment accounts and emergency funds remain surprisingly modest. The irony is painful. They look rich while remaining fundamentally poor in terms of actual wealth accumulation. The financial services industry has mastered the art of exploiting this vulnerability. Walk into any wealth management firm with a six-figure income, and you'll be sold sophisticated-sounding investment vehicles and insurance products that often generate more wealth for the advisor than for you. The fancy offices and impressive titles create an illusion of exclusivity that appeals precisely to the status conscious psychology of high earners, while the fine print often reveals fee structures that silently erode returns over decades. Consider this stark reality. According to research by Thomas Stanley, the author of The Millionaire Next Door, the average American millionaire drives a car that's at least 3 years old. Half of them have never spent more than $400 on a suit. They live in middle-class neighborhoods, in homes they've owned for decades. This counterintuitive pattern exists because true wealth builders understand that income is just potential energy. It only transforms into actual wealth when properly harnessed and contained. One of my clients, James, earned $350,000 annually as a technology executive, but had less than $100,000 in net worth at age 45. His neighbor, Mark, a middle manager making $120,000, had accumulated over $1.2 million by the same age. The difference wasn't luck or inheritance. It was that Mark recognized every dollar as a potential wealth-building tool rather than a permission slip for consumption. The fundamental truth that separates financially successful people isn't their income, but their relationship with money. High earners who remain poor see income as a reward to be enjoyed immediately. Those who build wealth regardless of income level see money as a resource to be strategically deployed. They understand that financial freedom isn't about how much you make, but how much you keep, and most importantly, what you do with what you keep. This mindset shift changes everything. It means refusing the automatic lifestyle upgrades that society expects with each promotion. It means making uncomfortable choices that might puzzle your peers, like driving a modest car when you could afford something flashier. It means understanding that true wealth is measured not by consumption capacity, but by how long you can maintain your lifestyle if your income stopped tomorrow. The way successful people actually spend their money has nothing to do with flash and everything to do with function. That's the strategic difference that separates the truly wealthy from everyone else. Take Warren Buffett, who still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500, while most lottery winners end up bankrupt within 5 years. The stark contrast isn't about luck or even income. It's about having a deliberate system for every dollar that passes through your hands. Behind the modest facades of self-made millionaires lies a sophisticated approach to spending that more closely resembles a corporate financial strategy than typical consumer behavior, where the average person makes purchases based on immediate desires, social validation, or clever marketing. Wealthy individuals approach each expense as a tactical financial operation with measurable outcomes. Each purchase undergoes scrutiny for its potential return, whether financial or otherwise. This mindset difference manifests most clearly in how decisions are made. The typical consumer sees something appealing and thinks, "How can I afford this?" While the millionaire mindset asks, "What's the long-term impact of this purchase on my financial ecosystem?" It's not about deprivation, but optimization, a subtle yet profound distinction that shapes every transaction. What's particularly revealing is that 85% of millionaires use a grocery list when shopping. This surprisingly simple habit illustrates their commitment to intentionality rather than impulse. Such disciplined approaches extend throughout their financial lives, with successful people maintaining meticulous awareness of their complete financial picture. Cash flow patterns, asset allocation, liability management, and emerging investment opportunities are all constantly monitored and adjusted. The allocation patterns of self-made millionaires further reveal their strategic approach. Rather than following arbitrary budgeting formulas, they commit to saving approximately 10–15% of their annual income. The National Study of Millionaires found that 8 out of 10 millionaires invest in their company's 401k plan, with 3/4 also investing outside company plans. This consistent investment approach, maintained over decades, creates the compound growth that builds substantial wealth, regardless of starting salary. Perhaps most counterintuitive is what successful people choose to spend generously on versus where they deliberately economize. While they often drive modest vehicles and live in reasonably priced homes, they invest disproportionately in self-education, recognizing that their knowledge and skills generate their highest lifetime returns. They consistently read, attend courses, and seek expert advice, treating their intellectual capital as their most valuable asset. This investment mindset extends beyond financial assets to what might be called life assets. Wealthy individuals strategically allocate resources toward physical health, mental well-being, and key relationships, areas that research consistently shows provide exceptional returns, both financially and in life satisfaction. Those who exercise regularly, statistically dominate in virtually every measure of success, illustrating how non-financial investments often yield financial dividends. What you won't find in millionaire spending patterns are the wealth-draining purchases that most consumers consider normal. Extended warranties on electronics, brand new luxury vehicles, designer labels for everyday items, impulsive online shopping, and high-interest consumer debt. These seemingly small decisions compound just as powerfully as their investments, but in the opposite direction. The concept of invisible wealth explains why so many truly affluent people maintain deliberately modest outward appearances, while conspicuous consumers broadcast their spending through visible status symbols. The genuinely wealthy often hide in plain sight, their net worth growing quietly through appreciating assets rather than depreciating possessions. Their wealth accumulates not through what they display, but through what they strategically choose not to buy. This approach creates a fascinating paradox. Those who appear least concerned with wealth often accumulate the most of it. The millionaire next door drives an ordinary car not because they can't afford better, but because they understand that saying no to small temptations enables saying yes to significant opportunities. Their financial freedom comes from thousands of disciplined decisions that prioritize long-term growth over immediate gratification. So what's the thread that connects all these wealth-building behaviors? It's simple yet profound: intentionality. The millionaires in these studies aren't necessarily financial geniuses. They've just mastered the art of deliberate decision-making. Take something as mundane as shopping with a list. This single habit, practiced consistently by most millionaires, creates a framework for disciplined spending that compounds over decades. It's not flashy, but it's effective. Your path to financial freedom won't be determined by dramatic gestures or sudden windfalls. It will be shaped by these quiet, daily choices. The invisible architecture of wealth that few people notice but everyone can build.